Facebook stock slammed. Who's buying the dip? Not me. Hey everybody, watching Bull Boom Bear Bust. It's October 4th, 2021. So it's amazing how quickly things can change. People were riding high on the Facebook stock. Looking at a chart right here, we see it drop from about 344 down to about 320s. And that was because of an outage. Now the outage reportedly has been solved or resolved. But some people were out there saying this is a buy the dip opportunity. Myself, I would not be buying this dip, but let me know what you think down in the comments. This outage was in conjunction with Instagram and WhatsApp going dark. It's okay for me. I'm not on any of those. And I'm not invested in Facebook. But I'd like to hear from you. If you are, please let me know if you're going to be buying this. If you look at this as a dip, will you be buying this? Now, those that have gotten into Facebook stock just recently are down almost 15% just over the past month. So is this a sign of bad things to come? Now, over the past 5 years or so, we've seen Facebook go from a little over $100 all the way up to near the peak at about 370, 380, and it's continued to go to new highs even after corrections. So it's been an amazing run for those that have been holding that stock for many years, that have had the courage to sit and hold. And that's always been a struggle to me, when to sell. Do you sell when it doubles? I tend to take about half off of whatever it is when it doubles. And that way, if it drops, I've already broke even and just playing with house money after that. It's a strategy I've been using for cryptos here lately as well. All right, but let's talk about what's happening overall with the average U.S. working person, what we call the middle class, the working class. And let's talk about personal income. And it's pretty sad what's happening. Income is not rising actually much at all, but definitely not matching the rising cost of living and the rising prices. Recent article here out of Mish Talk: personal income shows no sustainable progress since April of 2020. 3 rounds of stimulus have kept income elevated, but the impact is wearing off. And we've reported about this. We see that spending dips between stimulus checks, spending increases when stimulus checks go out, and it falsely pumps up the GDP number. It makes the economy look better than it really is. But it's amazing, these economic indicators that are just manipulated or adjusted with people swiping cards and going into debt. People actually look at that as economic growth. And we look at a chart here out of the same article here out of Mish Talk, and it goes back nearly 2 years, and we see the blue line at the top. That's personal income. We see it basically bumps up with the stimulus checks, but pretty much treading water. Not much of a rise at all long term. And it's actually negative when you look at the cost of living and compare this to inflation. So yeah, more people are going to get further into debt just to keep up with the basics. Anyone that's going out right now and spending money that they don't need to spend, I would urge caution. But maybe you're got a 2 or 3 year rainy day fund or something like that. But I'm being very cautious right now. There's just so much uncertainty out there. We see what happened with Facebook today. What if it happens with the bank? What if there's still no solution on the debt ceiling? They did kick the can down the road for a bit, but that's still in debate. And in fact, recent Bloomberg article: the doomsday clock for U.S. debt ticks with no congressional plan. So they haven't reached the long-term solution yet. Now, to sum it up again, what's happening here, it's basically a political battle with one side versus the other. You know how they like to divide us all up into groups so we can go basically dispute or fight against each other instead of looking at the real problem, which is the controllers here. And I doubt it's going to be one party or another that's going to accept the blame and not get everything passed and not allow the debt ceiling to continue to go to infinity. In a world where you create endless amounts of money out of thin air, why would you ever need to not raise the debt ceiling, right? And we talked about this before. There's still talks of minting $1 trillion coin made out of platinum. And the question that we had asked when this news first came out is, why stop at $1 trillion? Why not just mint 100 trillion, pay off everybody's debt? If it's as simple as that, if whatever they say or whatever gets minted or printed on these bills or coins is what it's worth, then you might want to ask yourself why they're not just minting the coin and getting rid of all the debt. But you see, when the country and everyone in the country that's in debt is in debt to the ones printing the money, then you have a problem. Because whatever they print is just more debt. You see how that works? There was even a New York Times piece. The president should ignore the debt limit, mint $1 trillion coin. So it's just wacky times, folks. We're talking about $1 trillion coins. You know that we've reached madness levels. And it's not a joke. A Bloomberg article. This is how the $1 trillion coin could end the debt ceiling fight for good. It's not a joke, is what they say. It's not a joke. Okay, if it's not a joke, again, coin $100 trillion, whatever, $500 trillion, platinum, palladium, whatever coin, and pay off all the debt. Problem solved. All right. The trick is whatever the coin amount or value is, you have to get them not to add it to the debt, because then they have to print more money to help pay towards the new debt that's created with the mintage of this new coin, right? I mean, you can't make this up. This is how wacky and crazy this really is. And it's being widely discussed. There's another article, Axios, the coin that could avert a federal debt default. All right, folks, we're going to make this a shorter one this evening. What do you think about Facebook? $1 trillion coin, the debt ceiling. We've got some people predicting out there. We talked about Kiyosaki and a couple others predicting some really crazy things going to happen here in the fourth quarter, 2021. Either way, whether it happens or not, stay prepared, because if we see rising prices, that's just as bad or worse than many people's opinions, including mine. I would rather see a deflationary crash or a plunge, and that would be a buying opportunity, and maybe things will actually fall in line with what people can actually afford. But we know the money printers, they want to see inflation nonstop, so we have to continue to ride this bull, look for opportunities to try to keep up with inflation and just stay afloat. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully you're doing the same. Hopefully everybody's well. Stay safe, stay prepared, keep stacking, everybody. Bye for now. Good night. Peace.